Well,
the
I think you have to kind of look at, now that we've established the timeline,
Yeah.
that you're now a recruitable athlete come June 15th after your sophomore year.
Yeah.
That's the timeline. And so there's going to be a few different phases of recruiting. So you're going to have the stars of the sport who are going to dominate freshman year, sophomore year. Those are the athletes that are going to get on programs' radar. And they're going to watch them. They're going to watch them like a hawk until June 15th, and they're going to try to line up phone calls, right?
Right.
And it's just like trying to go get a glass of water in recruiting and turning on a fire hydrant and trying to fill up that cup. Those kids just get overwhelmed and inundated. And then you got to know the history, right? We're used to coach going after kids who in the 7th and 8th and 9th grade, and now we have to wait until they're juniors. So we're chomping at the bit to get to them. And so you're gonna have those type of players. For those ones, those guys are going to be hounded. They're going to be taken care of. They're going to have any program choice that they want to go to. So some of the things they've really got to look at is, well, distance from home, right? Do I want to go across the country? Do I want to be a few hours away? You know, you can't up and move a program. The program is where it is. So I think distance from home is a big factor. You got to think a little bit about the school. You know, do they have the program that I want? I would say most universities will have your undergrad that will suffice. Maybe they don't have a master's program, but that's not something you really worry about.
Oh, you mean on your studies?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So your academic studies. But, you know, different universities are ranked differently academically. So, you know, those will open up opportunities based off of even just your diploma. You got to look at, you know, are they offering scholarship dollars? You know, there's more scholarship dollars now than there's ever been. So what does that look like? You know, now schools don't have to give 100% scholarships. They can give partial scholarships. So are there any out-of-pocket expenses that I'm going to incur if it's like a partial scholarship?
Right.
That's brand new. We're at year 1 doing that.
Oh, wow. So it's fresh.
It's just fresh.
Got it.
This is evolving. There's NIL dollars now available, name, image, and likeness. So are any of those funds available to gymnastics? You know, mostly those are going to football and men's basketball programs, but is there anything for a gymnast? What does that look like? What does the history of that look like in your own program? So some programs are doing that more than others. That's a whole nother world. When you start taking some outside dollars, you got to pay taxes on those dollars. You got to invest those dollars. You got to get some sound business advice now if you start, you know, dipping into that.
I didn't even think about
that.
Yeah.
And you're going to need your parents to really help. These kids can't do this on their own. So those kids they're all going to get hounded. There was an old rule where you could take 5 official visits. The NCAA's lifted that rule, so those kids can go on as many official visits as they want.
Oh, okay.
Their one rule is you can only go to one school once. So
Got it.
You can't come to BYU 4 times on an official visit. You only get to come to us 1 time.
Got it.
Just because the NCAA has lifted that ban of 5 doesn't mean you probably should go to 5. I would probably say you should eliminate it down to 5 through your own research, through phone calls. You know, what do you want? A big thing that kids aren't thinking of is playing time. You know, in the sport of gymnastics, you pay your tuition, you go to the gym, you train for this many time. The coaches work with everybody. Then you go to the competition, right? You pay the entrance fee, you go to the meet, you warm up. The best kid on the team gets to do how many events? 4. The worst kid on the team gets to do how many events?
Probably 0.
4.
Oh, okay.
In a club setting.
In a club setting. Yeah. Of course.
And then, but in other sports, football, basketball, soccer, baseball, every other sport, there's tryouts, there's minutes. Am I a starter? Am I a bench player? What position am I playing?
Right.
In gymnastics, you're already a starter. And then, am I going to start? I'm going to train all this time. I'm going to train for 18 years. I'm going to go to a program, and am I going to start? What events am I going to be able to do? And I don't know if gymnasts quite see that or feel that until they get to college. And it's like when you go to regionals and you're trying to qualify to the nationals. Not everyone from the region gets to go, right?
Right.
That's what it's like being on a college team every weekend. You're trying to fight for your spot to compete. And so,
Is it a culture shock?
It's a culture shock.
It's a big culture shock
because
for
they're
them.
not grown up, fighting for minutes. I've had this discussion with our soccer coaches and other coaches at BYU. For them, it's a little different because they recruit starters, and then they bring a kid on, and it's like, no, I'm not a starter. I'm a bench player. That's hard for them because they're not bench players. Everyone on their team is a starter from a high school program. So ours is a little different because you don't grow up thinking about minutes and trying out.
Right.
The only thing I could relate to, it's like every weekend a college team competes. It's like a junior kid going to regionals and trying to make top 7 to make the region team.
Right.
So they can go and compete for their school.
Right.
So I think you need to look at that a little bit, the makeup of the team, and will I start? And what do I want out of this experience for 4 years?
Right.
So those are going to be your top kids. Those kids don't really have to showcase themselves very much on Instagram, social media. College coaches are probably going to reach out to them, but that's going to be the small minority. And, for every one of those kids, they're going to have 10, 12, 20 programs coming after them.
Right.
In the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But those are going to be your top 1%ers, your top 2%ers. Then it falls to, okay, so now I'm a junior in high school and I didn't get those phone calls. People aren't coming after me like the way I thought they were going to. So you got to go after it. Now you have got to go after it. Number one, a great way to do that is go to a college camp.
Okay.
And I know that's an expense that they have to take on, but you have to look at those camps as an audition. You're going there to audition yourself for that program. So you can't go in there hurt. You can't go in there timid and shy. You have to go in there and you have to get those college coaches to remember your name and to notice you. And when you leave, they can go, wow, that was a great kid. I want to learn more about that kid.
Right.
So that is an audition that you can take. And again, some of those parameters, distance from home, playing time, university studies, the schools the programs that they offer, those can all come into factors while picking a school. But number one, that's a great way to get your foot in the door.
And we're talking about level 10s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not,
yeah.
For you guys out there,
Yeah.
If you're a level 9, a level 7, a level 8, that advice, let's wait till we get to level 10, and then we can kind of go after it, right?
Really, I think those are great at like freshman year, sophomore years, so that those college coaches can get to know you. But you got to go into those camps with that mindset
Right.
of audition. The other one is, again, you mentioned social media. So most everyone has gone to an Instagram account. So you got to have a gymnastics Instagram account. You got to post often. But you got to post the right things too. So, I get emails all the time where kids will go to a competition and they will take the highlights and they will splice up
The highlights.
the highlights. That doesn't help me as a college coach.
Oh.
I need to see them raise their hand and do the entire routine.
Got it.
From start to finish. Because I can't recruit you off of highlights.
Right.
And I love watching you tumble off the tumble track and do your full in or your double layout, but that's great. But that doesn't really help me. How does it look
on the
off
floor?
Of a tumbling strip, off of a floor, after as close to competition height? Maybe you're going into a softer landing like a resi pit as possible. So, you need to have that gymnastics Instagram account that you're posting regularly. And you got to post your competition routines, your full routines. And summer upgrades are starting to wind down, right? We're starting to put in half routines very soon.
Yeah.
Sequences, those of, that new release move, that new dismounts need to start getting put in there so these college coaches can see those upgrades. But really, for me, it's like a full routine. Don't splice up the highlights. I just like the raise my hand, here's my beam routine.
Great.
So,
how important it is to highlight on the, we'll stay on the social media kick for a second. How important it is on social media to post these skills that are upgradable, that are upgrades, but that you don't compete. How important is that, or is that a no?
Again,
taboo?
I think you just no, absolutely post everything. It doesn't. It's not that hard to grab your phone or grab your coach's phone. Hey, will you film this real quick?
Yeah.
And then go home that night and upload it to your account. And it should be probably just your gymnastics. It should be like your resume, is what you should be doing. You should be doing that nightly, if not a few times a week. And then when best way to communicate to a coach, I think, is through an email.
Okay.
So, I could get an email at 10 o'clock at night and I could watch it I can forward it onto my coaching staff. I could hit reply, right, at 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night. I can't do that on a text message,
Yeah.
right? It's rude to send a text message at midnight.
Right.
It's not rude to send an email at midnight.
Right.
So I think the body of the email is really important. First of all, full name, gym you're from, year you're graduating high school. I need to see that in the very first sentence because I need to know, can I reply? Can I not reply?
Right.
If I'm a 2028, can't reply. That means they're going from freshman year into sophomore year.
Right.
Can't reply. If it doesn't have a year, I'm not going to do the investigation of finding out what year you're at. Too much work for me to do.
Right.
So in that first sentence, who you are, full name, what year you're graduating,
What gym?
gym you go to.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be the first thing. The second thing is, hey, I just did this awesome new trick on the bars. Love for you to watch it. Boom. Link to the social media account. Don't add the video.
Right.
Because I'm not going to, I got to download it. Now it's
Yeah.
taking up hardware space on my computer.
Yeah,
That I have to
yeah,
open
yeah.
up. Now
Yeah.
it's formatted wrong and I won't play.
Yeah.
Just a link.
Yeah.
Link to, it could be YouTube. If you prefer to go to YouTube works just fine. I would say most everyone's gone to Instagram, but YouTube works just fine.
Right.
What's cool about YouTube is you can skip forward so you can actually get through a routine a little quicker.
Yeah.
Or do both, but have that one link. Here it is. So the coach can go click.
Got it.
Here it is. And then you probably should have like a closing, signature with some basic information. And some of that needs to be like a link to your scores. People don't do that. But link to your My Meet Scores online or whatever. There's some websites with your meet scores.
Yeah.
So a coach can go click and then can see your resume at your meets. Oh, that kid is really good on floor and vault. Hey, we need a floor and vaulter. Let's dial this in and watch her a little bit closely. So that would be my advice in terms of a recruiting resume is use social media to your powers, but you got to include all of that every time that you send to a coach and send it to as many emails as you can find. And don't worry about replies. Kids get hung up on, I didn't get a reply. Don't worry about that. Just keep sending and keep sending to all of them. So be careful about addressing the wrong coach at the wrong school.
Right.
Because I get that a lot too.
Due diligence. Yeah.
So be careful that you're not
Copying and pasting.
copying and pasting and, Penn State's in the tagline and
Oh, wow.
which I just got last week.
Oh, no.
So be careful. And if that happens, it happens. Don't worry about it. We're thick-skinned. Because
Yeah.
guess what? We might do the same thing. We might hit reply and we meant to say your name and we
Right.
say another kid's name. So,
Right.
and have a little bit of grace that mistakes happen
Sure.
and it's okay.
Yeah.
Be a little embarrassed, make a little joke about it and move on. So,
Right.
just be careful that you slow down. Don't be doing it too quickly. But I think a lot of kids send an email and they're just expecting a reply.
How?
Probably send it and don't expect a reply. Just keep sending
Got it.
and just keep doing that until it comes up. Now, I would say to get on a coach's radar, I say be a student of the sport. So what does a student do? They study, they learn, they research. So if you want to play for X school, go back and watch their routines. You can find them. You can go back and watch old meets. You can find them on YouTube. You can follow those girls on their Instagram accounts and find their routines. Hey, I want to play for BYU. What does their bar team look like? What skills are they doing? So if you want to play for me, you better know what skills we're using. And then you better go in the gym and get those skills. Because that's really going to trump everything, right?
Right.
Is do you have the skills that it takes to be in a competitive lineup for that school?